Hey everyone, welcome to the first video on my channel. My name's Tyrone. I'm a former Australian Taekwondo athlete that trained in the national program for 5 years. I had started Taekwondo at 7 years of age. I had the Olympic dream come to fruition when I was 12 years old, and I moved to the national program in Melbourne from Adelaide when I was 18 years old. I am now nearly 25. I've been sort of taken a break from Taekwondo for about 1.5 years. And yeah, still traveling, still working. I got into my work online because I was traveling a lot for sport, and I'm here to support others to do the same, plus a whole lot more that I never had a chance to do during that time that I think I can help with. So without further ado, let's get into the content. I'm going to basically just run you through what this channel is about and how I'm going to help, and then I'm going to do Q&A at the end. So let's get into it. The what about this channel. So 1, how to make money online when you train and compete. I feel like this topic is not talked about enough, but and I don't know why, because athletes need the flexibility. It's such a great option, full of skills that you can still apply to so many different jobs and industries. It is insane what is out there and available to you if you just have a deeper look. So yeah, for some reason, there's a lot of people who are struggling to get into the online space as an athlete, and that causes big problems, because if you're traveling a lot, competing a lot overseas, that was 1 year. I think I spent four out of 12 months of the year overseas competing and traveling. That's a lot of sacrifice income, and I don't think it's necessary. And honestly, like, if you're a partly funded or an athlete who's not funded much at all, with not much support, or even if you do have a lot of support, look, I think having online work while you're over there competing and training is an essential. It's great. You're building other skills outside of sport. You're getting a bit of extra cash and saving up some money. There's no downside to it really at all. You're able to engage in something different and escape sport if you need to throughout all of those chaotic times competing and the pressure moments, right? So that's number 1. Number 2 is how to build your personal brand and get sponsorships. So this is another thing that I see a lot of even high-level athletes struggle with, and fair enough. Like, when you're competing and training and just focusing on that and being the best you possibly can be, there's not a lot of time to explore all these different strategies around sponsorships and personal branding. And there's a lot of expectation for athletes to do this themselves. And while I understand that, yeah, there's a bit more guidance that could be had there, I think, and I would love to help with that. It's important that you figure out how you can go about this. I have athletes always asking, what can I provide to a business? Why would a business want to work with me? Yeah, what do they want? Why would they give me money? Obviously, it's not just charitable. It's actually a business's strategic decision and they expect a return on investment on that, right? So what can you offer them? What don't you want to offer them? You know, you have to have boundaries too. You're a busy person. You don't want to approach a business and say, hey, I'll do anything, because that's asking for them to ask too much of you, and you need to set expectations and build a really good relationship with them, and make sure you're also aligned with them as a person, and make sure you like their products or whatever they're selling too. So there's a whole lot we can cover there to get you on the right track. Number 3, handle the business side of your sport. So that's a similar thing to number 2, right? But that's in everything. That's in negotiating, that's in managing your time, prioritization, strategy, defining your goals, all of that. That's the business side of your sport. That's also personal, so they go hand in hand. I think sport is a very interesting blend of personal and business goals when you do it right, and I think a lot of people forget the business side of it. And there's a lot of leverage from sport later down the track for your career that you can capitalize on. You don't want to forget about it, and you want to keep working on it on the side wherever you can, and make sure that the efforts you put in are going to work and be going towards the right things. Number 4, use marketing, business, and AI tools to work smarter, not harder. So, things like running an Instagram and trying to build your audience on there, things like starting a side hustle, like how are you going to be able to freelance or provide a service to someone online really quickly or effectively using different tools, understanding what different tools cost to use as well, and the skills you need to use them, and making sure that you're going to earn money from all these efforts that you put in, and that the business model you're thinking of is actually smart and not going to drain your time, money, and energy in a negative way. There's a lot of guidance that can be handed to you there as well, that I think is important. Number 5, time management, prioritization, how to look after number 1. So, outside of all of this businessy, money, personal brand talk, there's a person there who's working really hard, who needs support and needs to look after themselves physically, emotionally, mentally, all of that. So, in my experience, I ran into some mental health issues as well along the way. Being an athlete, there's a lot of pressure there in many different areas of your life. So understanding where to channel your time, your energy, your, what should come first, what should come second. You don't want to be spending all day on your personal brand. You want to be out there training and achieving what you need to achieve, right? So, just managing all of those elements and figuring out what's best for you and your goals, okay? So that's a ton of stuff to talk about here that I can talk to, because I've walked similar paths to anyone who can relate to being an athlete, from the beginning stages right through to aiming for Olympics and all of that. So, now for the why. So why should you listen to me? Well, I think it's going to be useful to you because you're going to save time, money, and energy for what counts. Okay, so you want to put all of your life force into being the best athlete possible and essentially minimize everything else where you can. All the things you don't want to do or that you shouldn't have to be doing. So some streamline advice, getting you from A to B in different areas of your life aside from being an athlete is really important, and I'm here to help you with that. Number 2, make time, money, and energy that you do spend count. So again, just making sure they're basically 1 and 2 are the opposite of each other. You want to channel your energy and time into one thing as much as possible, and then minimize all the distractions as much as possible, is what those 2 points are getting at. Number 3 is learn more about yourself and the value you hold. So again, when it comes to approaching an online employer or someone that you want sponsorship from, a business, whoever it is, just walking in with confidence and understanding your boundaries and what value you hold, and your values, your skills, your morals, everything about you that is going to carry you forward and help you make a connection with whatever opportunity you're pursuing. That's really important, and I think that athletes don't get enough time to really reflect on themselves and who they are. And also, it's a wild question to be asking yourself when you're young, when you're a kid and you have an Olympic dream. I started wanting to go to Olympics when I was 12 years old. I had no idea who I was or who I was aiming to become, really. When you think about it, it's a big thing to think about when you're younger. So, but we can still draw things out and spark these thoughts and help work towards something great from an early age. If there's a certain way we could go about that, absolutely. And it's very valuable to figure some of that out earlier, and it's all subject to change as well, of course, but it helps you pick a path and see where it goes, right? So moving on to the next one, it's define what you want and how you want to build your life around it. So there's lots of different levels to sport. There's club level, state level, national level, international level. You might want to go from world to Olympics, and they all require different levels of commitment. So you better know what you're aiming for and what level of commitment you're going for at the moment, and basically look at whatever's left over, whatever time, space, energy, opportunities you have outside of that. You want to maximize those, and so you're going to be able to do a lot more with everything else in your life. If you're lower down that ladder, you're going to have more time because once you start aiming for Olympics and competing internationally, you're time, energy, and money go down a lot. Your resources decrease as you get better, actually. So yeah, it's something you want to think about, consider. And we can talk about all sorts of different situations and levels throughout all of these videos. Discover hidden ROI activities tailored to your goals. So once you've figured out what you want and how you want to build your life around it, you want to also figure out and understand what parts of how are you going to build that? How are you going to build your brand? How are you going to, whatever hidden benefits later down the track. So, if you're building a personal brand as an athlete, that means you've got a following. That means that's a valuable asset that you can use for opportunities down the line. And you wouldn't have thought of that at first, but there's definitely a way to leverage that. Same with learning skills outside of Taekwondo and all these different little soft skills or even practical skills, online skills, all those. These are hidden ROI activities that are going to help you when you leave sport eventually. Being an athlete is such a small part of life. It's big, but there's only a window until you're about 30 approximately, sometimes a bit later, sometimes earlier, depending on the sport. But you want to be able to leave sport and have something to go to and leverage after that, that you're already doing throughout. And you're going to discover, I was actually had a big following on Instagram and I can now sell something with that. Or, there's a million different ways to go about it, but recognizing those and understanding that you're not building something blindly, you're actually seeing some different paths to take at the end of it. The number 6 is easily accessible free content specifically for you. So I'm niching down, I'm talking to athletes, I'm talking to personal brands. There's been plenty of times that we've had workshops from various organizations, and that's amazing. And they were helpful, and sometimes they weren't helpful, and that's fine. But I think having a YouTube channel where you can watch it on 1.5 times speed, 2 times speed, that saves you time. You can skip through the video and just take parts that you want to listen to, and skip the rest. That's valuable, and that's the way we should be working efficiently. As athletes trying to do a million things at once. So yeah, and it's also coming from someone who's walked the same path. So I hope it's going to be almost a shortcut for you in a lot of ways. So yeah, number 7 is work on your life, not just your sport. And that ties to a lot of what I just said, is you want something to have once you leave sport. Otherwise there can be a lot of consequences in terms of your mental health, in terms of your purpose, your identity, all of those things. You need to build things around just sport. It's really important. I never regretted doing other things other than Taekwondo. When I was at my most committed, all of those things outside of it that I did, I don't regret at all, and I'm very grateful for. So and that helped me when I left as well. So number 8, the last one, prepare for hurdles rather than run straight into them. So hopefully I can help you with problems before they happen, help you to create smart paths to take as an athlete or as a personal brand, so that you don't run into all the mistakes I made trying to get online work and all the rest. Okay, so I want to just talk about who this is for again, and just reiterate, it's for athletes, Taekwondo, and other people. Of course, any other sport. I was training in this Victorian Institute of Sport every day pretty much for the last 5 years, and there are other amazing athletes who weren't funded and were funded that need this advice too. There's swimmers, there's netball team, there's volleyballers, judo, all of them. So yeah, you guys, just if you're watching this, ask me any questions. I really want to help you, all of you. Parents, so look, if you're going to encourage your child to pursue sport, it's good to watch this content just to see what they're in for. If you want to push them, encourage them to go to a high level, or just for fun, I've been through all of those stages, and I think listening to what that entails from someone who's done it is super valuable. So you can guide your child and tell them great advice that they might want to hear before getting into it. Because we fantasize as children about what it means to be great at something and to be the world's best. And the more you get into it as you grow up, you face new challenges you never thought you would face before. And so, yeah, just sharing. I'm happy to share my experience with that and hurdles I faced and the transformations at various levels from a kid, junior, cadet, junior, senior, all of those things. And personal brands, I'm going to be talking a lot about branding, marketing, strategies, tools to use, all of that. So you'll be able to find lots of advice around that as well that hopefully applies to you, and even maybe even personal life aspects as well. So before we go to the Q&A section, I wanted to just show you some examples of brilliant people I've had the privilege to train with and know, and they're currently doing great in Taekwondo or in business. So in our Taekwondo community, look, we've got Leon. Everyone adores Leon. He has done an amazing job at getting a bronze medal in the World Championships, also went to Olympics, and he's unique to a lot of the other ones I'm about to show you because he has obtained sponsorships and he's leveraged his successes to grab those and get some funding. So really great job, Leon. There's still work to be done in all of that and ways to improve it, and hopefully some of the advice I can give will be helpful to him and many others. But yeah, Aku, I think that's how you say it. I don't know. Aku Australia was the main sponsorship that he acquired, and it's been doing well. So moving on, we've got Will. He's actually moved on for the last 2 years, been a coach in Korea. So that's an amazing achievement. He's also, while he was an athlete and still is carried on past his athlete life, is being a photographer. He does amazing work. It's definitely someone you could trust to create some awesome work, especially in hospitality. You could see he's doing various different events as well, Taekwondo, like sport shots, everything. So he's really good at what he does. Travis, sorry, not Travis. We'll get to Travis. Tom, he's got his strength and conditioning programs. He's got his gym, and he is an amazing athlete as well. So yeah, he's really leveraging social media and his personal branding to promote all the work he's doing in strength and conditioning, and he's progressing really well through his career using that. So yeah, then we've got Bailey, who's also retired now. He went to Olympics and was an amazing athlete. He is doing making signs for businesses at the moment, so he is very savvy in digital marketing and marketing in general, and also very crafty dude. So yeah, he is building these out for businesses, and while he's an athlete, he was also running a shoe business that was doing really well. And so yeah, he pivoted to this after his career. So definitely check him out, especially if you're a business that wants some eye-catching signage and foot traffic. Definitely worth checking out. We've got Stacey here. She's done a brilliant job with building her personal brand and presence. It's still always a work in progress, of course, but she's got, bits and pieces of cooking, her Taekwondo journey, different events she goes to. She does some public speaking, I think, as well. And yeah, she's got this little academy, it looks like, as well, Elite Taekwondo Academy, which is digital Taekwondo programs, I think. So yeah, definitely worth a check out. She built this website all on her own, so kudos, Stacey, well done. This is exactly the kind of thing we want to be talking about, is like how to improve these initiatives that these athletes are making and make them even better, right? So this is when it brought a big smile to my face. I saw this only 2 days ago. I don't know if I want to keep them anonymous or not. Maybe I should. But this is someone from my club back home at ATA, and it's very, very cool. This is a Taekwondo shoe that he's selling. A brilliant athlete as well. He's been smashing it, absolutely crushing it at the competitions lately. And yeah, very entrepreneurial move here, mate. So good job. Very, very happy. And then we've got Travis and also the Fernandez brothers. They're brilliant with business, like seriously awesome. Travis himself, he does photography and videography, I think. Pets in Taekwondo, they do like Taekwondo gear, I think shoes in particular. They've got lots of other little initiatives. Yeah, they've got their club. got TJ and Coach Terrence as well. And yeah, they're just amazing at business. They're always crushing it, super entrepreneurial, and they were amazing athletes as well. TJ is still competing, I think, as well, to my knowledge. So good on you, all of you. I just wanted to put you out and just show everybody like how possible it is to actually do this. And you know, if you're focusing on the right things, you can grow it quicker and streamline it and make it easy for yourself as well, and actually make it something that's earning you money or a reputation or a following that you can then leverage later. So yeah, I think that's a really important point as an athlete to look into that. So now I want to go to the Q&A, and this is from someone from my home club that asked me this on Instagram the other day. Great question. I want to start a small business as a side quest. Love the use of the term side quest, by the way, but I do not know where to start. I want to sell jumpers and activewear, and I have no clue what to do. Any tips? Great question. And yes, I do have some tips. So this, I want to talk about what I would start with, and then I'll talk about how you can sell it online, because there are two approaches and they have different requirements. It's definitely harder to sell online if you're new to it, even with something as simple as a product like jumpers and activewear. But what I do is look into a provider that prints designs onto different kinds of clothing. A lot of them will do all sorts. They'll do different fits and sizes of t-shirts, jumpers, activewear, mugs, cups, I don't know, key rings, everything. All these providers will do all sorts, and then you would approach them. You want to get the design first. So if you're doing it yourself, then you might want to use a design tool. I don't know, there's Canva. I've never really done this before, but Canva might work if you're a beginner. Otherwise, if you have better skills than I do, then you might know the best software to use for the best quality. And then you send that design to the provider and they print it, and sometimes they even send it to the person who's purchased it for you. So when it comes to actually finding people to sell to, initially I would not do it online, just because, again, as an athlete, you're low on time, money and energy, and it takes money to make money online. And so I would be choosing a market, maybe a local market, set up a store with a trestle table in your parents' shed, if you can, and then put a tablecloth over it, showcase those designs, and put a price on them that's profitable for you, and see how they go. That way you'll be able to practice, talking to people. So sales, you're going to practice coming up with designs, practice, just dealing with money, and setting up a physical business. But there's so many skills, and then also be able to judge and analyze how well each design's selling and test new designs. So that's all like a bunch of business skills just from doing that. And you'll probably make a killing, if they're good designs in the market, and if they're at a reasonable price as well. So if you want to go online, I'd use that initially. And if you're making some profit, jump online, have a look at what's out there. And this is what I'd recommend. There's this provider called Printful. And these guys are great. They've got all the different kinds of clothing and merch that you might want to sell. And you basically send the design to them and you connect it to your online store, which I would recommend you connect to Shopify. And so once you have a website and you connected this to it, you can display your products from Printful on your Shopify store. And then when someone clicks buy and they purchase it, it's going to send an order to Printful, and their team is going to print it in their size and then send it to their house for you. So obviously they charge a bit to do that, but you're able to choose how much extra you want to charge so that you get to keep profit as well. These guys are definitely a great streamlined option for you once you are feeling confident that you want to invest in the online side of it. Building a Shopify website is a learning curve. You might want to hire someone to do that. And for building websites or coming up with the designs that you want to sell on these merchandise items, you might want to come to Fiverr and see if you can outsource that to somebody, a professional and oftentimes it's for cheap because they might be overseas. So that's called offshoring work. Depends how you feel about doing that, but you might want to find someone you might want to outsource it to someone overseas as well, but Fiverr makes it very easy. And then so you could have your website designs built from someone on here and then integrate Printful. The only other expense and risk when it comes to selling online is you have to find a way to find an audience to sell to, and that's through paid ads most of the time. So you'll have to use Facebook ads or Google ads or SEO, which is like an organic strategy, which I wouldn't recommend straight away because that takes that's something that built slowly over time. You might want to use Instagram or TikTok. So I would just choose one. Honestly, for fashion, I would choose I'd be choosing Facebook ads over anything else. Maybe get some ads going with some great photography, or invest in some great videography of people wearing your shirts. Even get reviews from people who have bought them or who you've given them to. Ask them to take photos of themselves wearing it with a nice review. That's called user-generated content. So you can use all this online and in your ads to then attract new buyers. And then that's another factor you have to consider is it costs money to pay Facebook to put out ads for you. And so what we call ad spend, right? So if you're selling a t-shirt and it costs you $10 to acquire a new sale, and then it costs Printful, say $10 to do their service and send it to them and print it, then that costs you $30. Did I say? I think it's $20 total. Being a bit forgetful at this point. $20 total just to get the t-shirt to them and to find the customer. So then you might want to chuck another $20 on top of that. We call that profit margin, which would be 100% profit margin to keep for yourself each sale, so that you're actually being profitable and you're not just spending money sending t-shirts to people. Okay, so that's the way that would work. And so you've got the extra cost and skills involved with managing the website, building the website, managing people to build those for you if you want to take that route, running the ads, generating the ads, making the ads better, more targeted, targeting the right audiences. There's a whole skill set there. There's people, marketers out there that you could hire to do this as well, but I recommend trying to learn it yourself to begin with and have an understanding before you get to that stage, because no one's going to care about your business as much as you will, and you don't want to be spending money on people who are wasting it, basically. So I'd be trying to get as many of these skills as you can, especially at a young age. Like learning these skills is something that you will capitalize on down the road. You'll be able to sell your service on Fiverr of building websites, sell your service online of creating designs for t-shirts, or running ads for people, so these are all skills that you can sell later too if you know how to do them yourself. But this in itself, running an e-commerce store, that's a big pursuit, even for simple things like merchandise and clothing. These are all things you should consider before doing it. But I would start at a local market, spend as little as possible, learn all the skills you can, and then if it works, it does. If it doesn't, then you've learned what doesn't work, and then you'll keep doing what does work, and eventually you're going to make it no matter what. Okay, so that's my answer to that one. Thank you for the question, and I hope that shedded some light on how you'd go about it. So yeah, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much. Remember, Q&A is coming first for the next video, so make sure that you're asking any question you want down below about mental health in sport, about running a business in sport, about managing yourself in sport, about personal brands, marketing strategies, anything at all. I really want to help. Sponsorships as well. Just ask the questions. I will address them first thing in every video, and then I'll talk about any extras that I'm thinking would be useful as well. Also, don't forget, down in the description, I've got a newsletter waitlist, so I recommend you sign up. And once I get enough people, I'll start sending some exclusive content out, some resources and strategies that hopefully are super helpful and insightful for you guys to keep on smashing it Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.